This is Office RX, where we prescribe solutions for smarter medical practice growth. Brought to you by PAHCOM, the Professional Association of Healthcare Office Management. Are you ready for today's dose? Let's get started. Welcome to Office RX, the podcast that helps you diagnose and treat the ailments of your medical office. I'm Trinity.
And I'm Marcus. And today, we're tackling a tough issue: workplace bullying.
Bullying in a medical practice? I always thought that sort of thing was just on the playground.
Well, unfortunately, it can happen anywhere, and it can be really damaging in a medical setting where teamwork and patient care are so critical.
Wow, okay, so what does bullying even look like in a medical office? I mean, is it just someone yelling at someone else?
It's more subtle than that a lot of the time. It could be a doctor dismissing a nurse's concerns in front of a patient, or a receptionist being consistently excluded from team updates, or even a manager using sarcasm to undermine someone's work. It's about a pattern of behavior, not just a bad day.
So it's not just like, one-off instances, right? It's something that keeps happening, that creates this kind of toxic environment.
Exactly, Trinity. And it can really affect morale, compromise patient care, and drive away talented staff.
Okay, so say you're a manager and you suspect bullying might be going on. What do you do? How do you even start to address it?
First, it's a good idea to hold a staff training session to educate team members. Make sure everyone understands what bullying is and what it isn't. Then, listen, watch for complaints, drops in morale, people avoiding each other, those kinds of things. Anonymous surveys can help too.
So it's all about awareness and being proactive. Then what?
Next, build a bullying-free foundation. Start with a clear, concise, practice-specific policy that defines bullying and applies to everyone from the front desk to the physicians.
Okay, so everybody's held accountable, even at the top. What else?
Reinforce awareness. Train your team on the policy and its purpose, protecting staff and patients alike. Use real-world examples. Senior leadership needs to lead by example. If you're respectful and approachable, others will follow.
That makes sense. So policy and training and leading by example, it's about setting the tone, right? But what happens if you discover bullying is actually happening?
Act swiftly and fairly. If a report comes in, investigate quietly. Talk to the complainant, witnesses, and the accused separately. Keep it neutral. Don't assume guilt. This is where things can be handled differently depending on whether you manage an independent medical practice or are part of a larger group. In groups, you will likely have an HR department that you would escalate to. You would still collect information, but then engage human resources for further action. Most PAHCOM practices are fully independent, so let's stay on that track for now. You're it. There's no larger office to ride in and save the day. Your knowledge of HR law and best practices will serve you well here.
Okay, so you're gathering all the facts, trying to get the full picture.
Then, if the behavior is confirmed, enforce consequences. A verbal warning might be enough for a first offense, but repeat issues could mean mandatory training or even disciplinary action. Consistency is key. You can't let a star performer get away with something that others wouldn't.
And you have to support the team, right?
Absolutely. Check in with the affected staff. Offer a listening ear or access to an employee assistance program if stress lingers. Rebuild trust by showing that reports lead to change, not retaliation. It's so important to make sure people know that speaking up will actually make a difference.
This all sounds like a lot of work. I mean, is it really worth the effort?
Absolutely. A bully-free workplace isn't just a nice thing to have. It's a competitive advantage. It attracts the best staff, delivers better care, and earns patient loyalty.
So it can really impact the bottom line?
You bet. It's worth fighting for.
So if a practice implements all of these different processes and systems, is it something that you can just sort of set and forget? Or what's needed to continue to improve?
Well, you have to sustain the change. Make bullying prevention a living priority. Check in regularly. Ask, how's the team vibe? At staff meetings, celebrate collaboration. Highlight moments when the team shines together. And adapt as needed. If new stressors like a staffing shortage spark tension, tweak your approach.
It's an ongoing process, it sounds like. Never done?
Yes, but I like working in an environment where I'm learning every day and making a difference for those around me. The work is never done, and that's a good thing, because we keep getting better and better.
Marcus, this has been so insightful. I know our listeners are going to find this incredibly helpful.
Glad to help. And remember, PAHCOM has resources to help you build a better workplace. Check out the show notes for a link to our certification programs if you're interested in learning more. Specifically, Human Resources is Certified Medical Manager Domain 3.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's dose of Office RX.
Until next time. See you at the forum.